The Easy Woman Spears, for sure.
Excuse me. Did you
There's free water upstairs.
I hear Adriana's walking.
I brought some tissues in case it was emotional.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, test 1 2. Good evening. I am Juanqui, and welcome to my world. Oh my God! On this evening, much needed self-care. How do you self-care of yourself? Naris 21. Okay. One of the posters here says, "What does self-care look like when you're low on energy?" And I find this fitting because it's once Wednesday comes along and Thursday, it's just downhill from there from me. Hello, AR Stringer, nice to see you. AR Stringer, see, I am so low on energy and I am so tired through and delayed. I can't even lips, teeth, tip of the tongue. AR Stringer, how do you self-care? What does self-care look like when you're low on energy? Because I feel like by the time people realize they got to do some self-care-ness, they are tired through and delayed. Often run the F down. So when you get to that point, when you're running on empty, I am currently running on empty, ladies and gentlemen. I am so low in energy and so in need of self-care that I am celebrating the fact that I am, it's like the eve of the eve of the eve. It's like a few days before the vacation can officially start, even though I still have to report somewhere and do what I gotta do for a few more days. But you got it bad. You got it bad when you are looking at the calendar, celebrating the fact that you still got another 4 days in between that moment where you look to your left, look to your right, and tell them, bitch, I am off to vacation. I constantly find myself year after year trying to strike a balance, trying to find the holy grail of how many times and how often do you need to unplug from the office, go on a vacation a year so that you are still being well taken care of, like you're taking care of yourself, you're doing your self-care things, you are okay and you're not tired through and delayed. I have not been able to find that. A mentor of mine told me, well, ideally you'll have 4 weeks of vacation in any job that you have, and then you're able to get away for a week every quarter. That's the goal, right? But we all know it doesn't work that way, because let's say even if you have one of these employers that does give you 4 weeks, 5 weeks vacation a year, that includes your sick time, your holiday, your vacation time, your sick time, and then some personal time and shit, right? Let's say you're able to do that. Where is there to say, right, that your funds are going to be okay, that the economy is not going to be in the motherfucking toilet, and that you're going to have disposable income to go about and enjoy yourself? See, I grew up always going on vacation for at least once a year, right? But that was something that I will have to save up and plan of 13 months before. Yes, I said 13 months, a year out. I'm already looking at vacation for 2028. The vacations for 2028. Because I am a planner. And I often, I do a lot of nice things, but, I try to get the best deals. So in order for me to get the best deals, I try to project shit really far out, 12, 16 months out. You got to have a lot of discipline to be able to do something like that, because, you got to know your schedule. You got to know what I'm saying? But so I'm already like, and it's what helps me go forward month after month, knowing that, okay, 15 more months to go, 14 more months to go, 13 more months to go. Oh, we're at a year. Next year. A.R. Stringer says self-care to me in low energy mode is indulging in something I love that don't take much effort. I'm doing that right now, actually. Okay, A.R. Stringer, I'm scared. Would you please let us know what are you currently doing? Are you lathering your legs like you were doing on that previous video where you gave us exposed tibia? Is that the tibia bone you were showing us? What was that? You were lathering some type of petroleum jelly on your cinnamon skin, honey. What are you currently doing? For me, self-care in low energy. Self-care in low energy to me means laying the F down, possibly having a bowl of berries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberry, raspberries, any type of berries, or green grapes, always the green grapes. Having a bowl of some type of veggie, of fruits, right? And then crawling in bed after a nice warm shower, okay? I may use some eucalyptus body wash. Okay. A.R. Stringer says, I am cataloging and organizing my fragrances. Okay. So for me, it would be like climbing in bed, getting on the iPad, putting it right on the side of the bed, getting on the iPad. I can get my bed to get into all sorts of contortions and shit. So there's a setting called zero gravity, and it throws my legs up to the moon and my head up to the sky, kind of like a U shape. Okay, it comes very handy. But so I get on zero gravity, which is supposedly mimic what zero gravity would be like. But I've not had the opportunity that Gayle King was afforded in that can with them people in there. So I don't really know what zero gravity feels like. But that's what's supposed to feel. So I will do that and then just scroll through YouTube. Sometimes I watch crime stories. Sometimes I watch a lot of vacation trips. People are vlogging their vacations. I watch reviews for airplanes and service in the plane and cruises and all of that. So that's one way. Another way for me is just putting some earphones in and doing some Legos until like I get tired and sleepy, because it comes to a point where like you got to have attention span, because you're reading the instructions, you're looking at the piece, your brain is flipping things up and like that. So those are like, I would say, my two major ways of doing self-care when I have low energy. I feel like the older I get, the less self-care I've been doing, and that's partly because the older I've gotten, the more responsibility has been on my plate, the bigger the numbers I have to deal with. And I'm not talking about, well, my paycheck is big. No, I'm just talking about numbers in general. Big numbers come in and bigger numbers go out, and that's so it's like mortgages and cars and this and that, and so it's that could be a little bit stressful too. So there ain't no time for self-care. You're always running. I feel like we're running, trying to make it. Okay? I'm trying to make it. My generation is tired, through, delayed, exhausted. Absolutely effing exhausted. You know what I'm saying? So if you're feeling like this, you're not alone. You are not alone. Okay, so the post today says, what does self-care look like when you're low on energy? The poster goes, a lot of self-care advice assumes you have time and motivation, but some days you barely have the energy to do the basics. Girl, I will always brush my teeth, get in the shower, wash my behind with lots of soap under the arms, Everything. Ears, behind the ears, in between the toes. Naris 21. Do you wash in between your toes every single night with a rag? I actually have a brush for my back too, and a brush for the body and all that, like a loofah on a stick, the whole nine. You do all of that. Then you come out and you dry yourself up. Dry behind the ears. Do you dry between them toes? Naris 21. AR Stringer. I saw you lathering with petroleum jelly. But are you lathering in between them toes? You understand? You gotta dry it up. You gotta all them crevices and all of that. Naris 21. Are you drying between the labia folds, Naris? AR Stringer says, I do a lot of instrumentals on YouTube that has partial animated scenes and get laws in it. It doesn't take much. Right now, bossa nova music and classic is my jam. I that sounds excellent. That sounds excellent. I used to listen to a lot of meditating and like the trees and the forest and the waterfalls and all that. My only suggestion is always, before you like go to sleep with them or anything like that, that you go ahead and listen to everything when you are awake and walking about in your house or at work or whatever, because I'm always concerned that they're gonna put some subliminal messages. Like if you do like a sleeping track or whatever, I will 3 maybe Marilyn Manson and the satanic cult is gonna come on and tell you to fail at life and everything in between. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't know, and at night subconsciously that's getting into your brain. So I always, if people are gonna do that at night and stuff, I always suggest when you are fully awake, fully aware, you listen to the entire video to ensure that there's no craziness going on, and then you go ahead and you download it so that or you like it or you heart it or whatever, favorite, so that you know exactly which one to always come back to. Those are my 25 cents. AR Stringer came back to read me and said, I don't use petroleum jelly. I use oils or shea butter. Okay. Okay, the post goes, what are your go-to low-effort self-care things you do when you feel drained or overwhelmed? And we heard from AR Stringer, we heard from me. We did not hear from Naris 21. I always picture Naris 21 being the type that will pick up a book and read. Like really like turn pages and read and stuff like that and get lost in reading. Let me know if I'm right, Naris 21. But anyway, people are saying here, watching some Netflix and ordering takeout, long hot shower, PJs, and early to bed, nice long nap, and reading. Somebody else says, warm washcloth on my face and eyes. All right. Somebody else says, redoing my nails, but with a simple single color so they look good but aren't too hard to do. Absolutely. Somebody else says, rest. Somebody else says, naps. I get a totally different kind of rest from naps during the day versus sleep at night. Naps are highly underrated. All right. Somebody says, gentle movement, some sort of walk, a shower with a scented shower steamer, and a smoothie. The shower steamer thing really good works too. I had these squares that came from an online platform I haven't signed up for ever since I saw that he was best friends with Orange Man at the house. But yeah, they had these eucalyptus square that I'll put in the corner of the shower, and as I'm showering with nice hot water, I just throw a handful of water on it, and it would just fizzle, but it will fill the entire room with eucalyptus. And then you have the steam of the shower, and that eucalyptus, it just opens every pore and and you take it in, you kind of get high a little bit, but it just helps me relax. AR Stringer says, yes, PJs, I bought a few nice traditional pajama sets. I try to make everything a nice elevated experience for me where I can. Yes, I absolutely know that to be true from AR Stringer. Absolutely. Somebody says, I have a go to list of things to do based on my energy levels. My first thing for self care is taking a nap. I feel very refreshed when I do so. Another is going outside in nature and sitting with no tech. I have dedicated days where all I do is have fun as well, no work. And this person brings out a good point. I loved in New York City throwing on my Bose headphones, and I know people are like, in New York City, you're blocking out the sound. You gotta be aware. But obviously, I would know where I'm walking. I know that, but throwing on my Bose, listening to my favorite musical CD, whichever one is at the moment, whatever I'm feeling, and just walking up Fifth Avenue, window shopping. Like just looking at the mannequins in the store, looking at the people, and just walk. I can easily walk 50, 60 blocks, ladies and gentlemen. Drop a bomb on the walking. I would start down at Wall Street by the Bull and slowly walk my way all the way through Midtown, through 42nd Street, all the way to Central Park. Before I knew it, I was at 110 at my house in Harlem. It took me a good hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours, but I could release. And it was a hell of a workout, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, hell of a workout. Can eat everything and anything and drink as much as I wanted because no pounds was staying on me doing that walk. I used to take that, especially in the spring and summer, daily from work. Daily, at least 5 days a week, I was doing that walk. Literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of steps. And so that will help me clear my mind. All right, one last one, and then we're gonna go ahead and begin our self-care. Somebody says, shower, moisturize, skincare, brush teeth, deodorant, relax. Somebody says, lately putting on a YouTuber I like Cozy K, and cracking open a poppy from my mini fridge has been helpful. I usually am doing something else while watching, but this sort of parallel play cheers me up. Oh, you know what? AR Stringer, Naris 21, what really calms me the F that, and it's so weird. I trained my body to have this calm me down in my brain. I play Tetris. I play Tetris on my phone, and my goal is every time is to get a higher score and last longer. I think I'm up to like 10,000 points right now. But that just something about the little sticks coming down and me being able to manipulate them and turn them around and just stacking them all up. I might as well work retail. I could stock boxes up. I could be a shelf boy. Like something about the shapes and just figuring out how to put the shape. It's almost like Legos. It's like a digital version of Legos to me. And so Tetris really, really calms me and finds me at peace. Absolutely. Naris 21 said, oh my God, to what, Naris? Anyway, this is your reminder as we head into the weekend that self-care is very important. We are living in some treacherous times, ladies and gentlemen. We are off the Richter scale. The history books, what history books? Supreme Court Nazis, dressed in robes and shit. We thought the COVID period was difficult. We thought the COVID period was difficult. We thought the recession before the COVID period was difficult. Nothing will prepare us for the fuck shit we are dealing with right now. We are living in the period of time where America is being single-handedly destroyed by a I'm going to do some self-care, and I'm not going to continue to preach to the choir. We all know what's going on. We all know, hopefully everybody knows what they need to do, what they need to ensure that they are registered to do. And before anybody tries anything, vote. That's what I'm talking about. Now more than ever, is imperative, Naris 21, that you are engaged, locked, and loaded to participate, partake, and be an active member of your community boards, community local government, because the more you start getting involved at that level, the more involved you're going to want to be at the presidential levels, at the Senate, the Congress, all of that. Anytime you have an opportunity to vote, voice your opinion, you should be there doing it. Okay? If not for the people who came before you, who gave their blood, sweat, and tears, and life so that you can do it. If not for them, if not for you, for your own self, then for the many yous that may come after you, or for the next level of your generations, of your family members. You know what I'm saying? A.R. Stringer says, the Voting Rights Act being gutter is a blow, but we can get back on track. Our ancestors did it, so can we. Stay engaged, vote, and don't give up. Absolutely. I love that. I absolutely love that. A.R. Stringer. I'm going to read it one more time, and I'm going to close out tonight with this. The voting, per A.R. Stringer, the Voting Rights Act being gutted, which that happened, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday. Okay, the voting by your Supreme Court justices, a lifetime. Where the fuck is a health concern when you need one? I swear to God, I've not seen all bitches that don't need to be there be able to be there for as long as I've been there. Oh, but all Susie Makeover Molly May, you know, she been all her life, and she gets taken out real quick in the hood. I digress. Let's end with a positive note. A.R. Stringer is letting us all know that the Voting Rights Act being gutted is a blow, but we can get back on track. Our ancestors did it, so can we. Stay engaged, vote, and don't give up. Thank you so much for that, A.R. Stringer. With that said, I want to wish everybody a good night. Remember to self-care. I will see you guys back again tomorrow. So have a good night and be safe. Peace.